What's up, guys? We're here with Alpha the Wizard. He just won a case tournament here at our local post sport gaming. How'd the experience go?
Went pretty good. I tried like a new strat tonight. You know, the ban list, we were playing new ban list, so it was just like very kind of like weird. Like nobody really knows like exactly what's correct to play, but you know, I just kind of went with my like gut and was just trying new stuff and you know, trying to
Seems like it worked out well for you.
Yeah, like deck performed really well. Without further ado, I'll go ahead and just kind of like show you what it was about. So I was on Sprite Adventure with some goo. So to start, we just got like the standard 3 blue, 3 jet, 1 red, 1 carrot, and 1 pixies. This is pretty standard. Like now, a lot of people cut the red down to 1 and are playing the pixies, which I actually really like it. But yeah, and then of course we have like the 3 starters, 1 smasher. This honestly was perfect. Running the second smashers is very debatable. I just can't justify it over a hand trap. But yeah, that's really it for the Sprite engine. And then we got 3 enchantress, 1 griffin. We are running the adventure package. I think it's really good against tier. Just being able to bounce like Kaleido Heart, you know, it's pretty solid. And then we do have like the 3 rights, 1 Fateful, and 1 Draco back. I mean, this is pretty standard in any adventure build. Not really much to change here.
Yep.
And then for the rest, this is where the deck changed because I was playing like the Hulk stuff with Spright like for so long. But now, since Hulk is gone, we are playing the Beeve. So yeah.
How'd this guy perform today?
Honestly, Nimble Angler, a lot of people don't think it's going to be good until like we get the new Sprite link, but just this card with Fateful is actually insane. Just being able to just search Griffin, pitch this, and then summon 2. I was only going to run 1 because I only had 1, but then I actually picked 1 up when I got here, so it was pretty solid. But yeah, I really love this package. It's pretty insane. It does kind of conflict with Right a little bit, but it doesn't hurt that bad. Like if you have a Sprite in hand and you just still can combo. So, but yeah, so that's really it for that. And then one-ofs, these are basically like gigantic targets. Since we can't summon Swap Frog, we have to kind of like change like how we do things. So I do play Gale Dogra, and then the other target for gigantic is Ibly.
Oh my god.
Honestly, these cards were like insane today. Gale Dogra, this was the card I was just testing, and it turned out like perfect, like exactly how like I hoped it would perform. Half the time in a combo, you pay like basically a total of 6K because this isn't once per turn. Dump Garura, draw a card, and when you play a lot of hand traps, like drawing like a nib off Garura is insane. And then I do play like cherries, but we'll get into all that because the second dump is usually Kikalos, and then Kikalos like mills 5, which is kind of nice playing like Ibly because half the time in the combo you can only get to like a blue and jet, so you can guarantee smashers. So if you're sending Kikalos and you mill like a red, carrot, or even Ibly to revive off elf, like the combo just like gets like even crazier. But even if not, just you know, IP elf Griffin is pretty good with smashers.
Not bad.
But yeah, so this card was really good. Ibly, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I was gonna play the Aperia card, the one that like when it summons you draw 1, but I didn't have it and I couldn't find it before the tournament. So I was like, you know what would be another good option off gigantic? So I tried Ibly, and honestly, this card was broken. I don't even think I want to play Aperia at this point. I would just probably keep Ibly because it just locks them. And if you have like IP elf setup, you know, that just goes into unicorn, spin like their normal summon, they can't even link it off, and now they're just stuck because they can't special.
Kind of crazy.
As for other one-ofs, I do play Foolish Burial and then Called By. Sprite doesn't really play Foolish Burial normally, like before, like now. I feel like if you're playing Angler, you kind of need Foolish because, you know, it's just like free 2 bodies, like, you know, it's +1. Called By, I mean, for obvious reasons, you know, Called By just ends games on its own. But yeah, and then onto that, like going second cards, play 3 Nib. Nib's too crazy right now against like tier, plus like other rogue decks like, you know, Ignister, Mathmech, you know. But yeah, and then 3 Ash. Ash kind of was like really weak last format, but I think Ash is coming back just because people are scrambling, don't really know what to play. I think Runic's going to be really popular too, so like them drawing 3, like if you can stop that, usually they're put in a spot like where they don't really have much left. I've noticed that. But then we do play 3 Imperm. Imperm is probably arguably, in my opinion, like the best hand trap in the deck, just because like, yeah, it's kind of low impact sometimes, but like you can hit like gigantic, you know, it really does stop like a lot of things, you know, problematic cards. Honestly, half the time today, like I didn't really use this on my opponent's turn. I was like saving it to try to crack their board. So like hitting Elf with Imperm, and then like, you know, basically like forcing like all their other cards, it worked out really nice because this deck plays through a lot with like adventure stuff. But then the last one we got 3 Super Poly. I have to say, for going second cards, this was probably the MVP. Round 1 I played against like Runic Spright, and like he won the roll, and like he ended on like an elf red IP. I just went draw face, Super Poly, and a Garura, and like then I did it to him again game 2. It was just kind of sacky, but
that's crazy.
It works.
Main deck Super Poly.
Yeah, it's kind of weird in Sprite, but if we're already playing Garura for the Gildogra, it all synergizes together. Like
Makes
Super
sense.
Poly just, because you don't need Gildogra going second, like you just use the Super Poly for Garura, you get more utility out of your cards. But yeah, so that's it for the main deck.
40 cards?
43.
Okay.
43 cards. Hate to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the extra deck, you do play 3 Sprite Elf. Some people would say if you're playing Adventure, you don't need 3 of these. You could probably utilize something else better. But I'm going to be quite honest with you, like 3 comes up like a lot, especially if you're trying to outgrind your opponent. Plus, you know, playing IP. Being able to like revive an IP late game, I've done that twice today. Like where I had to use IP or they outed it or whatever. And then late game, I just elf brought back IP into access code, and it was just insane. But yeah, and then we got Dark. I think Dark is just kind of mandatory with Sprite cards in a format. And then the last 2, since we play IP, we need Unicorn. And then some people would debate access code, but like I think like, you know, it just helps you OTK with the kill shot. Plus you can get like, you know, right token. Like it's kind of nice. But yeah, that's really it for the links. Don't really go too overboard on them. For the XYZs, I got 2 Gigantic, 1 Obimaru, 1 Sweeper. Then of course we do play like the Zeus package. Oh, you're not supposed to see that yet. We play the Zeus package. This is all pretty standard in Sprite. Some people would say you can cut this in this version, but I really like Obimaru. This was how I outed somebody's like impin today, and like I was able to just like keep going because I had to out it. I think Flunder's gonna be really popular now. But yeah, Zeus only came up 1 time. Like it was decent, but it's always good to have it like, you know, on the back burner.
Sure.
And then last 2 cards, we got the Poly Target plus Gildogra, and then Kikalos. So my theory on the Kikalos is like if you're playing cherries post sighting, yes, like it's very strong if you hit their kit against tier. But at the same time, if you're using Gildogra to mill 5, some would say that mill 5 doesn't really benefit you, but I would say different, just because you can mill Enchantress for follow-up, you know, you can mill Red, Carrot, Ibly, you know, and then just revive it off of Elf. So honestly, I really do like the kit play. It doesn't like net you any advantage, but it can like give you the pieces you need really. And then of course just Guru is insane.
Now, did that ever hit any of the Nimble Anglers?
1 time today, and it won me the game. Yeah. Like
crazy.
I was actually in a grind. It was like in the finals, and like I had to like normal summon Gildogra, dumped Guru at a draw, and I'm just like, all right, you know what? We have 4 minutes left in time. I'm just gonna pay 3K, milk kit, and then I hit Nimble Angler and summoned 2. Like,
ooh, that feels so good.
it was actually crazy. But this is why we play two Nimble Angler too, because like our chances, the probability with the math of hitting something that you can like actually utilize off this with like Elf is really, really high, but just hitting Angler is just insane. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's really it for that. Just to quickly like touch on the sideboard, because I think it's just like the most essential component to this deck. We do play the 1 Crimson Resonator. This is for time, like 40 minutes. You know, tier can grind you like into the dirt, so it's like just being able to beat them in time is very, very important. And then we do play 3 cherries for the Kikalos. Yeah, and this is also really good in the mirror match. I only used this one time against a tier player today, and like when I did, it worked out really nice. But yeah, so next I'm citing 3 droplets over the Dark Rulers. I don't play Dark Ruler. I think the card's like falling out of the format, honestly, and I just think this is better because this can stop you from getting like Dwellered. You know, and of course them decks that still try to put out a Toad, you know, like it's just really good against Elf Toad. Some would say like droplets is good too, or Dark Ruler is good too, but I don't know.
It's all player preference.
Yeah, I just like the fact that it's just quick effect and like, you know, you can set this, and Dark Ruler, if you open it going first, like it's just, you know, not good. This is at least an option, like to where you can leave it in going first if need be. But yeah, so that's really it for those. And then we do play 3 Cosmic to be Runic decks, back row decks. I think Eldritch might see like a resurgence just because, like, you know, reboots out of the format. I do play aside the second Smashers, and I was citing the third Smashers, but Gamma Burst was insane. I actually missed one game today. I mean, I still won the game, but at the same time, I could have just like killed him a turn earlier because I never used this card. I always hated this card, but like my friend swore by it, so I was just like, all right, you know what? I'll at least cite it. And yeah, I missed game because I thought this could only like boost one monster when in reality it boosts all mine.
Oh.
So I could have just like killed him, but yeah, I definitely like this over the second or third Smashers. I was testing 3 Smashers and cut this. 3 Smashers, while it was really nice, I just think this is more niche in like other situations.
Catches people off guard.
Yeah, like they never expect you to search this off jet, and when they do, they
not.
realize like you can probably kill them.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's it for that. But it's the most broken card in the side deck. It's actually evenly. Okay, so with Omni Negates being predominantly out of the format, like Toad's gone, people ain't putting out Baron as easy. Evenly, it was good last format, but I think it's even better now, to be honest. I remember one game against like a Runic player, I drew Super Poly. It was like a 2-0. So game 1, I polyed him. Game 2, I drew Super Poly off top and had evenly. And I was like, you know what? He didn't play in a poly, so I'm just gonna like bait the elf with Battle Phase. And he did, and he brought back out Carrot, and then I just Super Polyed him, and it was basically game from there. It's kind of insane. But yeah, that's really all I got for this one. I'm really enjoying the deck, but I mean,
Any shout-outs?
it's never gonna be perfect. Just gotta get better. Shout out to Post Sport Gaming for hosting the tournament. It's my home locals. Love to see it. Shout out to all my testing partners. There's too many of them to name. Shout out to Mario for being my brother. Love you long time. Yeah. But yeah, that's really it.
All right, it's been Alpha the Wizard. See you guys later.
Peace.